Hi, English learners. Welcome to English Unlocked the Oral Mastery. Think of this as your daily dose of inspiration, where learning English feels like a breeze and improving your life feels like home. I am your host, Daniel.
And I am your expert guide, Jenny.
So, have you ever um, said a very simple sentence in English and the other person just looked at you like you were angry?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Right. Like you meant to be perfectly polite, but somehow you just accidentally sounded like a strict boss or something.
It is the worst feeling.
I have definitely done that.
Yeah.
It feels terrible,
Yeah.
you just want to connect with someone, but the message completely gets lost in translation.
It really does happen all the time. And well, when you are learning English, it's so easy to focus only on the
Yeah,
rules.
exactly. The grammar and stuff.
Right. You spend like all your energy worrying about using the correct grammar. You're constantly searching your brain for that perfect vocabulary word.
Oh, I know that feeling so well.
Yeah.
Just freezing up trying to find one word.
Exactly. But today we are taking a deep dive into communication upgrades.
Yeah, that is our mission today. We really want to show you that mastering spoken English isn't just about the grammar.
Not at all.
It's about how you project confidence, you know. It's about showing warmth. It's about building a true connection with people.
Yes, and we're going to give you some very practical tools to transform how you speak to others.
And honestly, the craziest part about all of this, we are starting with what happens before you even open your mouth.
We really have to start there because, well, your body broadcasts a message loud and clear long before your vocabulary does anything.
Right, right. Just the physical presence.
Exactly. We call this the first impression, and there is a very, very strict timeline here. It's actually known as the 7-second rule.
Wow, just 7 seconds. That goes by in a flash.
It really does.
I mean, that's barely enough time to cross a room and shake somebody's hand. How can someone form a complete impression of me that fast?
It sounds super unfair, I know, but
Yeah.
it's actually deeply wired into human biology.
Really? Like from evolution?
Yeah, exactly. Thousands of years ago, if a stranger approached, our ancestors had to make an instant choice.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Right. They had to look at the person and instantly ask, are you a friend or are you a threat?
Just pure survival instinct.
Exactly. And our modern brains, they still use that exact same survival mechanism today.
That is wild to think about.
It is. So, in just 7 seconds, the other person's brain automatically decides if you are safe, if you're confident, and if you are trustworthy.
Okay, so before I even try to remember my English vocabulary, I
Yeah.
have to think about my body
Yes,
because basically my posture talks first.
it absolutely does. Your posture dictates your energy. How you hold your body tells the other person how you feel about yourself.
That makes a lot of sense.
Like, think about slouching for a second. If your shoulders are rolled forward, your chest is sort of caved in, and you're just looking down at the floor.
Yeah, that classic nervous pose.
Right. What message does that send to a stranger's ancient brain?
Well, I guess it sends a message of really low energy. It looks like you're hiding.
Exactly.
Or maybe it communicates that you're just tired and you don't really want to be in the room at all.
Right. Now, contrast that with standing steady.
Okay, standing steady.
Imagine you just pull your shoulders back slightly, you lift your chin up a bit, you make gentle eye contact. What does that signal?
Well, that signals that I'm ready. It shows I'm engaged and actually, happy to be there.
Yes, exactly.
I actually like to think of this early posture like the thumbnail image on a YouTube video.
Oh, I like that comparison.
Yeah, because if the picture is dark or blurry, you just don't want to click on it.
Right, you just keep scrolling.
Exactly. Your posture is that thumbnail. It sets the viewer's expectations before they ever even hear you speak a single word.
That is such a great way to picture it. If you have a calm, open posture, you are basically inviting people to click and listen.
A calm body delivers a calm message.
Beautifully said. So, standing tall gets our foot in the door. It gets us safely past those first 7 seconds.
Okay, so we have their attention now. But I've noticed something in my own life.
What's that?
Well, even with perfect posture, I can still completely lose people's attention if I just list off facts.
Oh, for sure.
Like, why do we tune out when people just give us raw data?
That brings us to a huge communication upgrade. It is all about storytelling.
Storytelling, okay.
Yeah, there's actually a famous phrase in the marketing world. They say, facts tell, but stories sell.
Facts tell, but stories sell. I like how that sounds. But how does that apply to just a normal conversation for an English learner?
Well, it means that simply giving someone a fact or a command is deeply boring.
Right.
It just doesn't stick in their memory at all. Let's imagine you want to give advice to a new English learner.
Okay.
You could just give them a dry fact. You could say, you should practice English every day.
Right. Which is true. That is good advice. But it's very dry.
Very dry.
It feels a bit like a doctor giving you a strict prescription. Doesn't make me feel excited to learn.
Exactly. Now let's turn that exact same fact into a story.
Let's hear it.
Instead of giving a command, you share an experience. You could say, a year ago, I was terrified to speak.
Oh, I relate to that.
Right. You say, my hands would shake, but I decided to practice speaking to my cat for just 5 minutes a day. And now I feel brave enough to talk to anyone.
Wow. Yeah, that changes everything.
It does, right?
The core message is exactly the same practice every day, but the way it actually feels is entirely different.
Why do you think it feels so different? Like, what changed in your mind just now?
Well, when you tell the story about the cat, I can actually see a vivid picture in my head.
Exactly.
I imagine you sitting in your room, nervously talking to a little pet. It makes you feel very human.
Yes.
And because I see that funny, kind of vulnerable picture in my head, I actually feel it in my heart.
But that is the absolute secret. When a listener sees a vivid picture in their head, they feel it in their heart.
That is so powerful.
It really is. This emotional connection is the true essence of oral mastery. You aren't just exchanging dictionary words with someone.
Right. You're sharing human experiences.
Precisely.
Okay, so we have a confident posture to get past the 7-second rule.
Sure.
We're using stories to keep their attention. Now, how do we make sure they actually feel comfortable?
That's the next big step.
Yeah, like how do we build a safe environment so they actually want to keep talking to us?
To make people feel truly safe, we need to focus on one specific word. And that word is empathy.
Empathy. Yeah, we hear that word a lot, but it can be a bit abstract.
It can be.
What does empathy actually look like in a normal daily English conversation?
Well, the simplest definition of empathy is just putting yourself in someone else's shoes.
Okay.
It means trying to feel what they're feeling in that exact moment without trying to fix their problem.
I'm trying to fix it. That's a huge point. Let's test this out with a scenario, if that's okay.
Let's do it.
Let's say a coworker comes up to me. They look completely exhausted. They drop their bag on the floor, give a big sigh, and they say, I'm having a really hard day today.
Okay. If you aren't using empathy, you might give a very flat, closed response.
Like what?
You might just say, oh, okay. Or maybe you try to be positive and say, well, tomorrow is Friday.
Ouch. Oh, that hurts to even hear.
Right.
If I tell someone I'm struggling and they just say, okay, it feels like hitting a brick wall.
It shuts the conversation down instantly.
It really does. It makes me feel like my feelings are just annoying to them.
It absolutely shuts them down. But an empathetic response opens the door.
So what do I say instead?
Well, you step into their shoes. You ask yourself, how would I want to be treated right now?
Right.
So instead of a flat okay, you just acknowledge their pain. You say softly, that sounds really heavy. Do you want to talk about it?
That sounds really heavy. I love that so much.
It's simple, but it works.
It doesn't try to fix the problem at all. It just creates a safe space.
Yeah.
It proves that I'm actually listening to them.
Exactly. Empathy builds a bridge between you and the other person. And now we can actually take that empathy and personalize it even more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do we do that?
There is a tiny one-word tool that makes the other person feel truly seen.
Just a one-word tool. What is it?
You use their name.
Their name.
Yes. To any person, their own name is the sweetest sound in the world.
Really? Just
Yeah.
saying their name makes that much of a difference.
It works like absolute magic. Just think about the psychology of it for a second.
Okay.
When we walk around in a busy city or a big office, we often feel pretty invisible. We just feel like part of a massive crowd.
Yeah, that's very true.
But hearing your own name instantly pulls you out of that crowd.
I can actually totally see that. Imagine I'm hosting a dinner party, right?
Okay, dinner party.
Someone walks in the front door. I could just wave and say, "Hi, welcome, come on in."
Right.
That was perfectly polite, but it's a little bit, generic.
It is very generic. It's warm, sure, but it's not personal at all. Now, add the tool.
Okay.
You smile and say, "Hi, Ryan. Welcome. Come on in."
Oh, yeah. Hi, Ryan. It changes the entire temperature of the greeting.
Doesn't it?
It shows I don't just see a random guest. I see a specific human being, and I'm genuinely glad they arrived.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Using a name builds instant safety. It proves you are paying attention to the details.
Okay, I love empathy. I love using names. But I have to push back a little bit here.
Go for it.
Empathy is very easy when conversations are happy.
That's fair.
It's super easy to be a great listener when my friend is just tired. But life isn't always a sweet, easy story.
That is very, very true. Communication gets messy sometimes.
Yeah. What happens when someone is actively rude to you? What if someone criticizes my English or just says something super triggering?
It happens.
I'll be honest with you. When someone is mean to me, my heart starts racing. I get really defensive.
Of course you do.
My first instinct is to fight back immediately with some harsh words of my own.
And that is a deeply human reaction. Your brain senses an attack and it just wants to protect you.
Exactly.
But this is exactly where true communication upgrades matter the most.
Okay, so what's the upgrade for being angry?
When things get hard, you have to remember one core rule: respond, don't react.
Respond, don't react. Those words seem almost identical to me. What is the real difference between reacting and responding?
The difference is actually massive. Reacting is pure emotion.
Okay.
It's fast, it's thoughtless, and it's completely automatic. It's basically a survival reflex.
So it's kind of like touching a hot stove. You don't think about moving your hand, your body just jerks away instantly.
That is the perfect example, yes. And that physical reflex is great for keeping your hands safe from a fire.
Right.
But a verbal reflex is terrible for a conversation. If you just react, you usually say something you're going to regret later.
Oh, absolutely. I've been there.
Right. Responding, on the other hand, is a deliberate choice. It's calm. It means you are in control of the situation, not your anger.
I really want to be the kind of person who responds. But, when I'm angry, my blood is pumping. It is so hard to be deliberate.
It is hard.
How do we actually do this? Like, what is the step-by-step process going on inside our heads?
Let's break down the internal process. It happens in 4 quick steps. And step 1 is definitely the hardest part.
Okay, I'm ready. What's step 1?
Pause.
Stop talking. But my brain is screaming at me to defend myself.
Yes, just stop. Do not let the very first thought in your head come out of your mouth.
That takes willpower.
It does. Give yourself 2 full seconds of total silence. This physical pause actually interrupts the emotional reflex.
Okay, so I force my mouth to stay closed.
Yeah.
I pause. What is step 2?
Step 2 is breathe. You take 1 deep, very slow breath.
Is that just to waste time so I don't yell?
No, it's biology again. When you're angry, your breathing gets shallow and really fast.
Oh, yeah, that goes.
This tells your brain you are in physical danger. Taking a deep breath sends oxygen to your brain and lowers your heart rate.
Okay, that makes sense.
It literally signals to your nervous system, hey, we are safe. There is no physical threat here. This allows your logical brain to turn back on.
That makes total sense. Okay, so I pause to stop the reflex. I breathe to tell my brain I'm safe. What is step 3?
Step 3 happens silently, inside your mind. You name the feeling.
Name the feeling.
Right. You tell yourself, I am feeling extremely embarrassed right now. Or, I am feeling furious.
Well, I don't need to name it. I already know I'm mad.
Because naming it actually creates psychological distance.
Distance.
Yes. When you put a label on the emotion, you separate your core identity from the feeling.
Oh, I see.
You realize, I am not this anger. I am just a person experiencing anger right now. It takes all the power away from the emotion.
That is a really powerful trick. Okay. Pause, breathe,
Mhm.
name the feeling. I've calmed down a little bit. What is the fourth and final step?
Step 4 is to ask yourself one very simple question.
What is it?
What result do I want?
What result do I want? Wow, that shifts my focus entirely.
Exactly.
Instead of looking at the rude comment in the past, I'm looking at the future. I have to actually think about the consequences.
Right. Do you really want to start a screaming match at the office?
Probably not.
No. You might realize that the best result is simply maintaining your own dignity and ending the conversation peacefully. So you deliberately choose a calm sentence.
This is huge. Using calm words when things are heated really protects you.
It does.
It stops a small disagreement from turning into a massive battlefield. You protect your reputation, and, you might even save the relationship.
Exactly. When you respond instead of reacting, you keep your power. You don't hand your self-control over to someone who is just being rude.
Keeping that internal calm is brilliant, and it perfectly sets up our next issue, actually.
Oh, how so?
Because staying internally calm changes the physical sound of our voice. It changes the music of our words.
The music of your words. I love that phrase.
Thanks.
Because the vocabulary you choose is really only half the message. The tone and the pace of your voice carry the other half.
Let's talk about vocal pace for a minute.
Sure.
How fast or slow we speak.
Okay.
When we get nervous, especially when speaking a second language, what usually happens to our speed?
Well, nervousness almost always makes people speed up.
Yeah.
Your adrenaline is flowing. You feel super uncomfortable, so you just want to get the sentence over with as quickly as possible. Your mouth essentially starts running away from your brain.
I know that feeling so well. My mouth is sprinting ahead, and I'm just hoping my brain catches up and remembers the English grammar I need.
We have all been there.
I speak so fast that I literally trip over my own words.
It's very common. But speaking rapidly like that makes you sound highly anxious.
It does.
And worse, it makes the listener feel rushed and uncomfortable too.
So what's the fix?
The fix takes practice, but it's very effective. You have to intentionally slow down your speaking pace.
Honestly, slowing down feels a bit scary. And I imagine part of slowing down means we have to be comfortable with pauses.
Pauses are vital. Many language learners are absolutely terrified of silence.
Yeah, silence is awkward.
They think if they pause, the other person will think they forgot a word. They view silence as a failure or just an empty space.
But it's not an empty space.
Not at all. A pause is a tool of power. It gives your words weight and real importance.
Give me an example of that.
Sure. Imagine a friend is upset and you want to comfort them. You could rush through the sentence and say, I understand how you feel and I want to help.
When you rush it like that, it sounds pretty fake.
Right.
It sounds like you were just checking a box to be polite. It doesn't feel deeply sincere at all.
Exactly. Now, let's slow the case down and add a deliberate pause right in the middle.
Okay, let's hear it.
Try it like this. I understand, and I really want to help.
Wow. I understand, and I really want to help. That brief second of silence makes the sentence feel incredibly grounded.
It does.
It feels honest. The pause gives the listener time to actually absorb the word understand before you move on to the next part.
Exactly. Pausing shows true confidence. It tells the listener, I am comfortable here with you. I don't need to rush away.
So slowing down our own voice helps us project confidence. But communication is a two-way street, right?
Oh.
How do we use our voice to prove we are actively listening when the other person is the one talking?
We use a very simple listening technique called mirroring.
Mirroring. Okay, how does a conversational mirror work?
Think about a verbal receipt at a store.
A verbal receipt?
Yeah. When you buy something, the cashier hands you a piece of paper to prove the transaction was successful.
Right.
In a conversation, mirroring is just handing back a verbal receipt. You simply repeat one or two key words from the other person's sentence back to them.
A verbal receipt. I really like that analogy. See how this works in action. Give me a scenario.
Okay, let's imagine a friend is stressing out about their schedule. They say to you, I have 3 projects due tomorrow, and I feel completely overwhelmed.
Okay, if I want to give them a verbal receipt using mirroring, what do I say?
You find the most emotional word they just used.
Yeah.
Here, the word is overwhelmed.
Right.
So you reply softly, turning it into a gentle question. You say, overwhelmed. Tell me more about that.
Overwhelmed. Tell me more. That is so elegant.
It is, isn't it?
As an English learner, I don't have to panic and try to construct some complicated grammatical response. I just catch their most important word and gently hand it back to them.
Yes, and the emotional impact on them is huge. It proves you were deeply listening.
They feel validated.
Exactly. It encourages them to keep talking because they know you truly understand their core feeling.
We have covered some incredible ground today.
We really have.
We started with confident posture. We talked about telling vivid stories. We learned to pause and respond instead of reacting.
All great tools.
We discussed slowing down our pace and using mirroring. These are powerful upgrades. But I actually have one slight worry.
Oh, what is your worry?
Well, if a listener is constantly thinking, okay, stand straight, now pause for 2 seconds, now breathe, now mirror their word.
I see where you're going.
Yeah, it could start to feel very artificial. I just don't want anyone to feel like a communication robot, you know?
That is a very valid concern. These tools are completely useless if they turn you into a machine. These techniques are meant to help you express your true self clearly, not to hide who you are. And that brings us to our final core concept today.
Which is
Healthy vulnerability.
healthy vulnerability. Okay, vulnerability is a pretty big concept. What does it actually mean in our daily English conversations?
Vulnerability means just letting your guard down. It means taking off the mask of perfection.
Taking off the mask.
Right. It's allowing yourself to be a real, slightly flawed human being in front of someone else.
But you specifically call it healthy vulnerability.
Yes.
What is the difference between healthy vulnerability and just, oversharing?
That is the key distinction. Healthy vulnerability doesn't mean dumping your deepest, darkest secrets onto a cashier at the grocery store.
Right, that'd be awkward.
Very awkward.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean trauma dumping on a stranger. Oversharing ignores boundaries and makes the other person feel trapped and super uncomfortable.
So what does healthy vulnerability actually look like in practice then?
It just means being honest about where you are in that specific moment. You don't have to pretend to be a superhero all the time.
Okay.
Imagine a colleague asks how your week is going, and it's actually been a terrible week. You're just exhausted.
The standard fake response is to put on a big smile and say, oh, everything is perfect. I'm great.
Right. That is wearing the mask.
Yeah.
But healthy vulnerability looks different.
What do you say?
You might give a small, honest smile and say, honestly, it's been a pretty heavy week, but I'm taking it one day at a time. How are you?
Honestly, it's been a heavy week, but I'm taking it one day at a time. That is so refreshing.
Isn't it?
It's honest.
Yeah.
It admits a struggle, but it doesn't overwhelm the listener with a 30-minute rant about all your specific problems.
Exactly. And do you know what the incredible result of healthy vulnerability is?
What does it do?
It builds deep trust. When you are brave enough to just be real, people feel it instantly.
They recognize authenticity.
Yes, they know you aren't playing a game. And building that kind of unbreakable trust is the ultimate goal of all human communication.
Trust is the ultimate goal. That perfectly ties everything together. We've gone on quite a journey in this deep dive. Let's just quickly recap the highlights for our listeners.
We began with the body. Remember the 7-second rule. Your posture is your thumbnail image. So stand steady and open.
Then we move to storytelling. Facts tell, but stories sell. If you paint a vivid picture in their head, they will feel the message in their heart.
We tackled the hard moments. Remember to respond, don't react. Pause, take a deep breath to calm your nervous system, name the feeling, and ask what result you want.
We talked about the music of your words. Don't let your mouth run away from your brain. Slow down. Use the power of the silent pause and hand people a verbal receipt by mirroring their words.
And finally, we brought it all together with healthy vulnerability. Take off the mask, be honest, be authentic, and build true trust.
So, to all of you listening right now, we have a challenge for you. Which of these communication upgrades are you going to try first?
Yeah, are you going to adjust your posture when you walk into a room today? Are you going to try mirroring a friend's emotional word?
We genuinely want to know how it goes for you. Please leave your answers and your stories in the comments. We absolutely love reading them.
We really do.
Before we sign off, we want to leave you with one final provocative thought, just something to chew on for the rest of the day.
Think all the way back to the beginning of our chat. We talked about how people judge your physical posture in just 7 seconds.
Right. We judge if someone is confident based on if their shoulders are up or down. But here is the deeper question.
What is it?
How much of your physical posture is secretly being controlled by your own internal thoughts?
Oh, wow. It's a profound connection. If your inner voice is constantly telling you that your English is terrible or that you don't belong in the room, your body listens.
You got
Your
it.
shoulders will naturally drop. You will slouch because your inner thoughts are physically heavy.
But imagine if you flip that. What if you practice being kinder to yourself inside your own head before you even walk through the door?
That changes everything.
If your inner thoughts say, I am learning and I have value, your shoulders will naturally rise.
Exactly. If you fix the way you talk to yourself in private, your body will automatically do the positive communicating for you in public.
What a powerful realization. Be kind to yourself first, and your outward communication will naturally shine. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep practicing, keep being brave, and remember that your voice truly matters.
Stay unlocked. Bye.
Stay unlocked. Bye.